In the tranquil hush of Druid Ridge Cemetery, nestled amidst the rolling hills of Maryland, rests a legend shrouded in darkness. She is Black Aggie, a bronze spectre forever frozen in a moment of silent mourning. Druid Ridge Cemetery has always held a certain somber beauty. Yet, among the countless monuments, it was Black Aggie who captured imaginations and stoked fears. Her eternally watchful gaze transformed her into a legend whispered in hushed tones. Originally, she was a symbol of grief and remembrance, a testament to love and loss. But something in her cold, unyielding stare sparked a different sentiment among the locals. They whispered tales of her coming to life at night, her eyes glowing with an eerie light. Black Aggie's story is inextricably entwined with that of General Felix Agnes, a Civil War hero and prominent Baltimore figure. Born in France in 1839, Agnes immigrated to America as a young man, seeking adventure and opportunity. When the Civil War erupted, he answered the call to duty, enlisting in the Union Army and rising through the ranks with valor and distinction. Following the war, Agnes settled in Baltimore, where he became a successful businessman and the publisher of the Baltimore American newspaper. A man of influence and respect, General Agnes played a pivotal role in shaping the city's social and political landscape. He was a staunch advocate for education, public health, and veterans' rights, earning a reputation as a compassionate leader and a true champion of the people. However, behind the general's stern countenance and unwavering resolve lay a deep well of personal tragedy. Agnes outlived both his wife and children, burying them one by one in the family plot at Druid Ridge Cemetery. It was in the face of this profound loss that General Agnes sought solace in the creation of a lasting memorial to his beloved family. He commissioned a grand mausoleum, its granite facade adorned with intricate carvings and stained glass windows that cast kaleidoscopic patterns across the cemetery grounds. And at the entrance to this final resting place, he placed a bronze replica of the grief statue, a poignant symbol of his own sorrow and an eternal guardian over his family's remains. The statue, a somber figure of a robed woman with her head bowed in perpetual sorrow, was originally created by sculptor Augustus St. Gaudens for the Adams Memorial in Rock Creek Cemetery, Washington, D.C. General Agnes, captivated by the statue's raw depiction of grief and its ability to evoke such a visceral emotional response, sought permission to have a copy cast for his family's plot. As decades passed and General Agnes himself joined his family in eternal slumber, the statue guarding their tomb became known as Black Aggie. Whether the moniker arose from the dark patina that coated the bronze or from the growing unease surrounding the statue remains a mystery. What is certain is that Black Aggie, once a symbol of private grief, gradually transformed into a focal point for local legends and eerie tales. The stories varied, each more outlandish and terrifying than the last. Some whispered that Black Aggie was cursed, that her bronze eyes held the trapped souls of those who dared to disturb her at night. Others claimed that she moved, her head slowly turning to follow those foolish enough to linger too long in her gaze. The most common legend, however, centered around a series of dares, each more dangerous and terrifying than the last. Teenagers, emboldened by youthful bravado and a thirst for the macabre, flocked to Druid Ridge Cemetery after nightfall. They came seeking a glimpse of the infamous Black Aggie, eager to test their courage against the whispers of the supernatural. They dared each other to touch the statue, to circle her 3 times counterclockwise, to stand before her and shout her name into the darkness. The most daring, or perhaps the most foolish, dared to sit in Black Aggie's lap. Legend had it that anyone who dared to do so would suffer a terrible fate. Some claimed that the statue would come to life, her cold bronze arms crushing the life out of the unfortunate soul who dared to tempt fate. Others whispered of a curse, a slow and agonizing death that would befall anyone who treated the grieving angel with such disrespect. Whether these tales were true or merely the product of overactive imaginations is a matter of debate. What is undeniable, however, is that Black Aggie's reputation as a harbinger of misfortune grew with each passing year. Stories circulated of strange occurrences in the cemetery after dark. People reported seeing flickering lights, hearing disembodied whispers, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. One popular legend involved a group of teenagers who decided to test their luck with Black Aggie. They snuck into the cemetery late one night, their laughter echoing unnaturally loud in the stillness. They circled the statue, chanting her name and daring her to do her worst. One of the teenagers, a young man emboldened by liquid courage, even went so far as to climb onto the statue's lap, throwing his arms around her neck and laughing in defiance. The next morning, the young man was found dead in his bed. The cause of death was a heart attack, but rumors quickly spread that Black Aggie had claimed a victim. The story became a cautionary tale, a warning to those who dared to tempt fate and disrespect the dead. As Black Aggie's infamy grew, so too did the problems she posed for the cemetery and the Agnes family. The constant stream of thrill-seekers and amateur ghost hunters became a nuisance, disturbing the peace of the cemetery and damaging the property. Graffiti marred the Agnes family mausoleum, and the statue itself bore the scars of countless attempts to chip away at her bronze form. The family, once proud of their unique monument, grew increasingly weary of the unwanted attention. They attempted to dispel the rumors, pointing out that Black Aggie was nothing more than a statue, a work of art incapable of harming anyone. Their pleas fell on deaf ears. The legends, deeply ingrained in local folklore, proved impossible to erase. The situation came to a head in the late 1960s. The cemetery, unable to cope with the constant vandalism and trespassing, reached out to the Agnes family with a heavy heart. They requested that the family consider removing the statue, believing that its presence was doing more harm than good. The Agnes family, faced with a difficult decision, ultimately agreed. They recognized that Black Aggie had become something more than a memorial, a symbol of fear and superstition that was detracting from the sanctity of the cemetery. In 1967, under the cover of darkness, Black Aggie was carefully removed from her pedestal in Druid Ridge Cemetery and transported to a new home. The Agnes family, wishing to preserve the statue's legacy while also putting an end to the fear and vandalism she inspired, donated Black Aggie to the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. Today, Black Aggie stands in the courtyard of the Smithsonian American Art Museum, her bronze form weathered by time and the elements. She's no longer a source of fear and superstition, but rather a curiosity, a relic from a time when folklore and reality were often blurred. Visitors to the museum can view the statue during daylight hours, her somber presence a stark contrast to the bustling city surrounding her. While Black Aggie's days of inspiring fear and fueling local legends may be over, her story continues to fascinate. Did the statue truly possess supernatural powers? Or were the stories nothing more than the product of overactive imaginations? Were the misfortunes attributed to her curse real, or were they simply coincidences? The answers to these questions, much like Black Aggie herself, remain shrouded in mystery. Some believe that the statue's power lay not in any supernatural ability, but in the human capacity for fear and suggestion. They argue that the legends, passed down through generations, created a self-fulfilling prophecy. People expected to experience strange occurrences around Black Aggie, and so they did. Others maintain that there was something more to the statue, something inherently unsettling about her presence that defied rational explanation. They point to the numerous first-hand accounts of strange occurrences, the eerie feeling of being watched, the whispers on the wind that seemed to emanate from the statue itself. Whether Black Aggie was truly cursed, whether she was a conduit to the supernatural or simply a victim of her own eerie reputation, her story serves as a reminder of the power of belief. It reminds us that fear, once unleashed, can take on a life of its own, shaping our perceptions and influencing our experiences. Black Aggie may no longer reside in the shadowy confines of Druid Ridge Cemetery, but her legend lives on, a testament to the enduring power of folklore and the human fascination with the unknown. She stands as a silent sentinel, her bronze gaze fixed on eternity, a perpetual reminder that sometimes the line between fact and fiction is as thin as a whisper on the wind. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories of haunted history and unexplained phenomena. What do you think about the legend of Black Aggie? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below and let me know what other haunted landmarks you'd like me to explore. I'll see you in the next video.